Hello everybody and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Squares Crochet Along. Today we are making this cute little square that we have actually named Working Around the Clock because of the 12 sections it has, and also because we have literally been working so hard to bring all these daily squares to you lately. It's kind of been a little ridiculous, but let's get started with today's square. We are going to start with a magic ring or chain 4 and slip stitch to your first chain to create your ring there. We will chain 3 to count as our first double crochet and work 11 more double crochets into that ring to give us a total of 12 stitches around. So once you have that, you'll slip stitch to your starting chain 3 and then we'll get started on round 2. There, so we have 12 stitches around. We will slip stitch to that first chain 3 that we did, and we will chain 3 again to count as our first double crochet, and then we will front post double crochet around that same stitch. Okay, oopsie, lost my hook. There we go. So then into the next stitch, we're going to work a double crochet and a front post double crochet, both in the same stitch. So that's what we're going to do to each of the 12 stitches around, is a double crochet and then a front post double crochet, both in the same stitch. Do that all the way around. You'll have 12 front posts and 12 normal double crochets, and we'll slip stitch to our first starting chain. There we go. I've made my last front post double crochet there, and I'm going to slip stitch to my starting chain 3, and I will once again chain 3 to count as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to put a double crochet into the front post of the last round and also a front post around it. So the front post goes around the same front post from the previous round. We're just going to keep those in line. And then in the next stitch, you're going to put a double crochet, and then double crochet and, whoopsie, a double crochet and a front post double crochet in the next stitch. Double crochet in the next, and then a double crochet and a front post double crochet in the next. So continue that all the way around until we get to your starting chain 3 again, and of course once again we will slip stitch to finish off that round. Alright, I have once again slip stitched to our starting chain 3, so we are done the third round. And I'm realizing it's kind of hard to see the definition of this on video, but oh, there we go. In person, you'll definitely notice how the little spokes are going all the way through. So once again, to start our round 4 here, we're going to chain 3 to count as our first double crochet in your next stitch, and then the stitch after that is the front post, so we're going to double crochet and front post double crochet in the same stitch. So if you'll notice, our little pattern here, sequence, is just double crochets in the double crochets from the previous round, and in the front post double crochets from the previous round we are working a double crochet and then a front post double crochet. So double crochet, double crochet, and then a double crochet and a front post double crochet. As long as you make sure that your front posts are going around the front post of the previous round, which is easy to tell once you get going, you guys are going to be golden with this square. or circle, I guess. Won't be a problem at all for you. So continue that sequence all the way around to our starting chain 3, and we will slip stitch back to there. There we are done round 4, and we are essentially just going to repeat this one more time for round 5. So after you slip stitch, go ahead and chain 3 and double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then we're at our front post, so we're going to double crochet and a front post double crochet around it, and then double crochets in the next 3 stitches. And in the front post we will double crochet and then front post double crochet, and so on and so forth all the way around till once again we get back to that starting chain 3. There we go. Now we're done the circle part of this granny square. I'm going to change colors now. If you are, then you can just connect in any stitch here, doesn't really matter. Or if you're continuing with the same color, then we are going to just start with chaining 3 to count as our first double crochet, and then we're going to put a double crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet into the next, and then we are going to single crochet into the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the next we need a half double crochet, and the next stitch a double crochet and another double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 3 for our corner, and in the next stitch we're going to do, I guess in the next double crochet in the next 2 stitches here, and then a half double crochet, and then once again 9 single crochets all the way across until we're ready to work our corner again. You'll work that half double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, next 2 stitches, sorry, and then half double crochet, and then that 9 single crochets across. Work all 4 of your corners, and then your last will be chaining 3 and connecting to your starting chain 3 there. So I'll get back to you when we've squared it all out here. There we go. I've made my last chain 3 corner, so our circle is now a square. And we are just going to make it a little bit bigger here. So start with a chain 1, counting as your first single crochet, and work a single crochet into the next stitch, and each one all the way across your square. Oops. There, once we get to the corner, we will do 2 single crochets, a half double crochet, and then 2 single crochets. And then once again, single crochet in each stitch along this side, and your corner will be 2 single crochets, a half double crochet, and then 2 single crochets. So continue that all the way around till we get to our first chain that we did, and we will slip stitch to that because we are counting that as a single crochet, remember. There we go. Once we've slip stitched to the first chain, we are essentially all done. The square If you want another round for size, just go for another round of single crochets, and in that middle half double crochet that we did in the corner, work 3 single crochets in there, and repeat that as many times as you need to get the size that you need. But otherwise, that is our square today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed crocheting along with me, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.